Yo, what's going on, my Black Clover people? It's your boy NeoXO coming back at y'all with another Black Clover video. Today, I'm gonna be going over some leaks for Black Clover chapter 327. Now, the keyword is leaks, so take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt and be sure to support the official release of the Black Clover manga. But getting into these spoilers for the next chapter, ooh, we in for another good one, especially when it gets toward the end of this chapter, because I already looked through all of the leaks and the last page of this chapter, the last page was honestly my favorite of this chapter. It's kind of like a cliffhanger, but it's a good cliffhanger, you know, like it's a good one that I'm gonna get into it. Let me get into it. All right, so we start off the chapter. Asta blocked, obviously he blocked the attack from Lucifero. It seemed like, you know, Lucifero was actually going to try to kill Asta with that punch, but then Asta awakened. You know, he had awakened a new horn, so he has like 5 horns now, and he has actually gained more power. We all pretty much agreed with that last chapter that Asta was going to gain more power, and in this chapter it's pretty much solidified. Asta did gain some more power. What ends up happening is Lucifero hits Asta with a punch. What's new? I mean, Lucifero been punching Asta for days now. Not literally, but you guys know what I mean. I gotta add that in there because somebody be like, nah, it's only been a couple of minutes or something like that. Y'all know how people be, but it's basically been going on for a little while now. A couple chapters, Lucifero basically been punching Asta, and this time is different because usually Asta would fly away when Lucifero would punch him, but in this chapter right here, Asta grabs Lucifero's arm and he says, "We will defeat you and live." That's a cold line right there. And Asta, the look on his face, he's not playing at all. He means every word that's coming out his mouth. It seems like Asta has no doubts whatsoever. So that's pretty cool to see Asta grab Lucifero's hand like that. That's the first time we've ever seen anybody lay hands on Lucifero in that way. Lucifero basically was almost untouchable. I mean, we had Muriel Leona attacking him, and he's basically sitting there like, your attacks don't even affect me. But here comes Asta with his new power-up. It's Devil Union mode still, but he has another horn, so it's distinct from the Devil Union mode that he was using before. All right, just want to make that clarification right there. But Asta grabs his arm and says, "We'll defeat you and live." And Lucifero makes a statement. He's like, he's completely blocking the magic of anything he touches. Incredible. That is incredible. I don't know if we've seen something more impressive. Now, that's obviously going to be a subjective statement I just made, but blocking the magic of anything that it touches completely, he literally says he's completely let me like reiterate this. He's completely blocking the magic of anything he touches. That is insane. That is really insane, bro. That's a feat, especially against Lucifero. So Lucifero, he realizes this. Asta blocks the magic attack of anything, and he says, "You gotta be kidding me." And then Asta's like, "Nah, you're the one who's gotta be kidding." And he's like basically pushing back against Lucifero. This is the first time we've seen any real pushback against Lucifero. You can argue that the captains gave him some pushback, but I would argue and say they didn't, because what did they do? Nothing tangible happened to Lucifero. The only person who's done anything tangible to Lucifero was Yami and Asta. And that's just a fact from the way I see it, because that's just a fact in general. Everybody got to see it that way. I mean, Yami literally hurt his arm, and Asta literally cut off a part of his horn. So Yami and Asta, the only two I see that did something. If I'm wrong, let me know who else did something. But I'm telling y'all, Asta and Yami was the only one who did something to Lucifero. And right here, we see Asta go even harder. And in the last chapter, I didn't even talk about this in review, but Lucifero's wings turned into arms and impaled Yami. I talked about it slightly, but I didn't talk about it, how cool it was, basically. I talked about it, of course, but I didn't talk about how cool it was. It's pretty cool how Lucifero's arms turned into, his wings were turned into arms that impaled Yami and Nacht. It sucks for them, but so the next panel I want to talk about is clean. Asta cuts clean through Lucifero's horns again, and then he cuts off Lucifero's arms, freeing Yami and freeing Nacht, of course. So they're freed from the grasp of Lucifero's back wing arm things, you know. So Nacht, as he's falling off, he says, "Is this the true power of Devil Union mode?" And then Yami basically says something as he's falling as well. He says, "You really are funny, kid." And that's meant to be a callback to whenever Yami first recruited Asta to join the Black Bulls. It's probably a rough translation because this is from a leak, but that's what it's meant to be a callback from. I'll be sure to put something on the screen to let everyone know exactly what I'm talking about the moment in the Black Clover series that this is calling back to. So then another piece of information that's really important for me to talk about is Asta only having 5 minutes until his union mode is undone. So if he can defeat Lucifero in 5 minutes, he's straight. But if it takes longer than that, him and Libe are going to be separated and their union mode is not going to be in effect anymore. So that's going to be what it comes down to, because right now Asta is launching a counterattack against Lucifero. The last page, I got to talk about it. I have to talk about it. So the last page of chapter 327 is one of Asta attacking Lucifero and sending Lucifero flying through the air. He sends Lucifero flying through the air. Like, this is crazy. We ain't never seen nothing like this. We have never seen something like this. Who has ever sent Lucifero flying through the air besides Asta? That's crazy, bro. That means Asta is on a completely different level. Do not come tell me that Asta is weak. People always tell me that Asta is weak. How? That man is not weak. I'm gonna stand on that. I'm standing on that. Asta is really strong, bro. He is on a completely different level than most of the people there. He's the only one that has pushed Lucifero back. And now this got me thinking, like, is Lucifero going to come back and be angry, or is he going to come back and be extra calm as he has before? So that's something that we're going to have to wait and see, because this is the first time we've seen this happen to Lucifero, so we don't exactly know how he's going to react. I don't want to get into predictions right here because you guys actually like watching my prediction videos too. So thank you guys for that, giving me so much support. I really appreciate that. But as far as Lucifero, he might get a new form just like Asta did. What I really want to see is, I want to see some new information about maybe Asta's new horn. Nobody seemed to mention it in these leaks. Not to say it won't be in the official chapter or anything like that, because the official chapter hasn't come out, so of course I wouldn't know that. But from the leaks, it doesn't seem like his new horn was really talked about that much. I would like to see more of the lore behind that, if there's any lore. I hope there's a lore. Tabata has a lot of lore in the Black Clover series, so that's something I really enjoy about the series as a whole. But as far as the leaks, I covered pretty much all the leaks. I'm just saying some of my opinions now, some of my thoughts and hopes and stuff like that. I really do hope that we get some more like backstory to maybe Libe. Not even a backstory, that's the wrong word to use, but more of acknowledgement toward Libe, because he's facing off he faced off against Supreme Devils, high-ranking Devils, low Devils, and he's pretty much been able to fight against most of them. So I mean, I want to see him get acknowledged, because when he was in the underworld, he got no acknowledgement. He was the lowest of the low. He was picked on, bullied, beat up, and stuff like that. So now that he's hitting Lucifero, definitely the Devils need to like put some respect on Libe's name. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeoXO, and I'm out.